much it's your girl Simba, and it's time to watch Poppy Playtime 5. Look, man, I know y'all wanted me to play chapter 5, but I just don't have the time. A lot of things happened, and then like a lot of games came out, things got pushed back, and I'm trying to, when I drop these gaming videos, if it's a story, I want to drop it in one long video. So in order for me to do that, I would have to send them out to the editor, and I just don't have time to record multiple sessions right now and things like that. So we're just gonna watch a full story on like the full story explained for chapter 5, and then we're gonna watch all the endings that could happen. And if there's a chapter 6, I'm gonna try to stay on top of it and play chapter 6. Hopefully there's not. This should be the end, but this is going to be uploaded on the gaming channel. Shout out to, you know what I'm saying, the gamers. Let's get it.
So cute! What's wrong with them?
Oh,
The story starts with a horrifying intro of a new line of toys known as Wrong Side Automals, a range of toys which can be turned inside out. This plays as a parallel to painful and cruel experiments the prototype performed on children and other test subjects, creating certain monstrous dolls. That's when we are back where we left off in chapter 4, the protagonist being confronted by an enraged Huggy Wuggy who fell into the bottom of the factory, now being badly injured, yet being alive. This is the Huggy Wuggy who we thought to have died after a fall, the doll that was used as the first line of security in chapter
that's the Huggy Wuggy we was getting chased after. Okay.
1. In an intense and long chase through the pits of the factory, which has tools and machinery for destroying discarded toys, the protagonist manages to use an elevator which falls, letting him escape Huggy Wuggy, but in the process, he loses his grab pack.
We would lose another arm? Damn, how many times we gonna lose an arm?
As he goes on exploring an isolated place which has been left for so long, he comes across a badly put together toy who talks about how they cannot trust anyone, not even a character known as the judge here, apart from themselves. And the judge, of course, being the prototype, and this toy seemingly being an experimented on toy by the prototype. This encounter is from a distance, so the toy runs away before they can get close to each other. This unfortunately leads to an assumption that this is
Okay. My thing is, where the fuck is, bro, did they fucking dig into Earth's core with this fucking play factory? We just keep going deeper to the Earth's crust, my nigga. How deep is this fucking factory? What the fuck?
what happened to the remaining children and orphans who went missing. They could have been experimented on by the prototype, who now have turned into these terrible monsters, being trapped and scared, treated like discarded wild animals, deprived of any humanity. These animals are scattered around in these pits, each taking a small corner to live and sleep in. Around this place, there are hooks, which at some point we find a rotted away corpse of a Playtime factory worker who has been left there as if crucified. Clear that many of the missing workers were
I'm gonna tell you a fun fact about the size of the factory after the vid. Okay, bet. Chapter 5 isn't the last chapter. They said it was, though. I don't, bro, like, this, that's why I don't want to play these anymore. Like, I love the story and the it just seems like it gets to be too many puzzles and it feels like a cash grab. Like, here's the thing. I feel like they're dragging it out. And then also, I feel like a lot of these can be made into 2-hour games. There should be no reason Poppy Playtime is 5 fucking hours. 5 and 6 hours. Wait, hold on. How long is it to be? Hold on. This is what threw me off of it. Like, I feel like chapter 2 was the perfect size for Poppy Playtime. And I feel like now they're like, Poppy Playtime, the first one was short. It was an hour, but it's cool. This one, 2.5 hours. 2.5 hours wasn't bad at all. It left enough time for story and everything. Chapter 3, I really wasn't that upset with. It was just like I didn't like that Weeping Angel shit. Chapter 4 wasn't bad either, but I just don't feel like they need to be 5 hours long. And then you mean to tell me after I spent 5 hours on this, 5 hours on this, you want me to go for 5.5 hours? Why? Chapter 2 had enough. Like, chapter 2 wasn't even a lot of puzzles to me. I feel like there was a little bit of puzzles, but it was mostly gameplay that got into a puzzle, if that makes sense. Like, there was still something you had to do. Like, figuring things out wise, but it wasn't bad to the point where it just felt like I was doing a mindless puzzle that had nothing to really do with the game, trying to figure out how to turn the power on or get an extra hand, or it was interactive. Like, I was doing these games because she said I had to beat the games in order to get the code, right? Chapter 3 felt like I need that kind of puzzle. Like, it just felt like when it was chapter 3, right? When we were just running through the back rooms of whatever the fuck, trying to find this and that, and like it was like all the beds and shit. That shit was throwing me off. 3 was good, but like there's hours and hours worth of endless fucking puzzles that aren't needed. That's the thing, chat. If I'm seeing this, right, 5.5 hours, right? If I'm seeing a 5.5 hour video and I can do 5.5 hours, right? That's what it said. 5.5 hours to beat this game. I'm constantly seeing niggas 3 hours and 40 minutes, 2 hours, 2.5 hours. That means all of that shit can be cut out. Do you see what I mean? If niggas are able to cut the video down to 2.5 hours, that means there's 2.5 hours of just bullshit. Like there's like 3 hours for this person, right? There's 2 hours of bullshit that can be cut out. So like, if I can cut that out of a gameplay. 5 is really good story and cinematic wise, but the gameplay is so long and filler. That's what I'm saying. Like, we don't need these long ass filler games, bro. We don't need that. We don't need that.
Dragged to the bottom, where many of the toys fed on and many were left to die. Now the protagonist is left with a grab pack who is in dire need of some sort of tool or equipment to defend himself with. All of a sudden, we get attacked by one of the Outermols, who gets stopped by a friendly toy called Gibblet. The stories of the protagonist seems to have gone around throughout the factory, and Gibblet seems to be on the protagonist and Puppy's side. It's clear, as he has so many stitches and injuries, clear that the prototype punished him and even experimented on him. He introduces himself and welcomes
the one who put mommy the grinder, who gave the cat a nap.
The protagonist, when all of a sudden the prototype comes through, giving them barely any time to hide.
No, he wouldn't come down here and just...
The Outermol unfortunately becomes one of the victims of the prototype, who gets killed just before it leaves. Gibblet then takes the protagonist to his hideout, where he explains that he also wants to kill the prototype. He is not the type to feel sorry for himself, as everyone in here has gone through tragedy. The only thing that he wants now is to make the prototype pay for things that he has done, and also find a way out.
Look, I'm not the kind of guy who spends time feeling sorry for himself. I mean, the way I see it, everything's a tragedy until it's meant to be. You think this is an accident? You ending up down here like this? Both of us wanted to kill the prototype.
Okay.
I mean, that's where this train is headed, right? I'm not some kind of hero, but I can help you.
As the protagonist moves on to the boiler room to find a grab pack, he finds an audio tape revealing something heartbreaking.
This is ridiculous. Tying them up, leaving them in there. Just kill them and be done with it.
It wasn't supposed to be like this.
Don't be a coward. You know what they did to us.
Okay.
True.
What did these people do? Huh? They work in a warehouse that never even been down to play care. You don't know them any more than I do. Let's just leave before...
Survivors. In there. He tied them up.
No, I...
They can't leave. And they can't stay.
Shit.
Gibblet, who after the hour of joy was manipulated and grouped up along other toys under the leadership of the prototype, is heard to argue and fight against killing captured Playtime workers. He explains that these captives were working in the warehouse and never had been in the playcare.
Damn, so you just killing them for no reason?
Meaning, they had no idea of the atrocities taking place, but nonetheless, prototype alongside another toy known as Bubby Bearhug force him to kill the captives. He does that while crying, as he has no other choice, displaying his compassion and soft heart, while the prototype is the true evil leader who had no mercy to soft toys and no tolerance for forgiveness. He also manipulated many toys, and many toys followed his leadership. As the protagonist goes on, he finds a dazed and catatonic-like Bron who is simply chewing on the grab pack, just being on the auto mode. His guts are slit open, and some of the Outermols are feeding on it, explaining that when Bron eats, they eat, displaying a grim and sad reality for these mistreated and exploited children. Getting the grab pack, the protagonist finds another tape which plays a conversation between Puppy and Prototype. A conversation which displays how Puppy didn't want to be the figurehead for a
I can't be who they need. I didn't ask for them to look at me, but
rebellion, but someone they chose who fought against the Prototype's cruelty against the children who are now the toys. After going back to meet Gibblet again, we are introduced to another character known as Chompkins. He has a large
this is Chompkins, the guys on our side. We sort of look out for.
open stomach lined with sharp teeth, which he seems to be able to use for killing or hiding things. The protagonist gets called the Playtime Butcher, someone whose name has been going around. He has also been labeled as Puppy's Angel, someone they have been hoping for to come and rescue them from the Prototype. Finding some data on the Prototype, we are told to get to the IT and access the system in order to find out more about this document. Chum looks scared and doesn't want to do it, as for years he has been the errand boy for the Prototype and he knows the price for disobedience. All of a sudden the Prototype comes. Gibblet
Chum literally did almost nothing this chapter.
runs and Chum puts the protagonist in the empty space that he has in his stomach to hide him from the Prototype. That's when he takes him to another location where he could access the computers. In there, we get to use a technology known as the neural link, which allows the protagonist to possess the body of a Huggy Wuggy doll. It turns out there was a pre-recorded show with the
Wait. Okay, so now we're Huggy Wuggy?
possess the body of a Huggy Wuggy doll. It turns out there was a pre-recorded
Today we're gonna play a game called
show
Cleaning Up.
with the host being Miss Gracie, a child show host who
For those naughty blocks that don't match, see them find a place for seeing his memories. Okay.
would indoctrinate and manipulate the toys to do horrible things. She would tell Huggy Wuggy to be a good doll and throw other dolls into a toy box, which seems to have been a grinder, with each
What?
toy containing the soul and consciousness of a real human being and feeling all the pain while dying. Miss Gracie is then revealed to have been played in many conditioning rooms for certain toys, especially the Bigger Buddies Initiative dolls, who were more useful to this evil organization. In one of the memories, we see how Huggy was thrown into a room by a couple of hazmat handlers, but Huggy goes out of control and kills them both. Just as we are busy going over these past memories, Huggy Wuggy himself suddenly appears and chases after the protagonist. As he catches up to him, he abruptly gets distracted by a projection, sparing the protagonist's life. Eventually, the protagonist goes into a new area known as the Sweet Street, where he comes across Lily Love Braid, an active and
I don't think they're here for the party.
agile character with long braids which she can control like tentacles.
We are going to have so
Who is this? Who is this? See, this is like, what? The new side villain?
There we find Kissy Missy and Puppy put inside a jail cell. Puppy apologizes to the protagonist for everything and explains that she tried to free the orphans or the remaining children, but didn't realize Lily was still here after all this time, and because of that, they got imprisoned. As we are free to explore without Lily knowing we have already spoken to Puppy, we learn more about her. She was an experiment just like many others who was trapped in this fake house where she slowly unwinds and gets used to it. She unfortunately is left isolated, and as we later find, we find a skeleton of the woman who was on the kid show, manipulating and grooming them, Miss Gracie. She has been well kept and treated as if she is still alive, with Lily still speaking to her on the regular, showing
It's okay, you're okay, go back to sleep.
the degraded state of her mental state, in desperate need of a friend. Even worse, when we discover Lily Love Braid is Gracie Green, and she has been having a very disturbed mind ever since that she was transformed into this doll, being the person that groomed the children and the dolls. Eventually, the protagonist manages to free Kissy Missy and Puppy, but he gets caught by Lily.
Alright, our dear guest bored of Silly Lily. Why don't we play a
Subsequently,
game?
Lily also captures Kissy and Puppy and then puts them on her play pretend table, forcing them to wait while she informs the prototype to come and punish them. She even displays her hatred and jealousy towards Puppy as she explains that she is the favorite to the prototype and gets all the attention.
Okay.
No, Candy. Not Poppy. She's always been his favorite. I think she's a little asking Annie. She is a little asking Annie. Oh, please take me out of my case. Oh, please rescue the orphans. Oh, please blow up the whole factory and burn everyone alive.
What the fuck?
Soon enough, the prototype himself comes to the mix and has a face.
Who is this exactly? There's adding stuff with no buildup. That's what's actually also, that was a thing for me as well. It was just like, they kind of have like, there's a lot of throwing of random characters in the mix now. That's what I'll say.
Off against his nemesis, Puppy.
What the fuck? Oh my god. I ain't gonna lie, his character design is kind of tough though.
What did you do with them? Where are the orphans? Uh-oh, she doesn't know.
Oh.
She doesn't know.
That nigga has a temper.
Oh.
Oh my god, what the fuck?
I did.
What I had to.
Very.
In a better place now.
No. You're a monster.
I built us a home and kept us
Safe.
and you repaid me by
Bringing in an outsider.
Oh no.
plotting to
Destroy.
the only heaven you
Or I
Will ever get. I had hoped your time in the case would help you see.
reason.
I see now. This was my fault. You
Act
Like a child, because
a child.
is what they made you.
You're hurting me.
Don't be afraid.
I can fix you.
Poppy.
I
Bro, I'm hearing what's the name's voice in Prototype as he's talking. Bro, Ollie, yeah, I can hear like hints of Ollie in there.
Don't be afraid.
I can fix you.
Poppy.
I
Can make better.
And you.
the outsider.
Butcher.
They call you. Shall we see what you look like?
Wrong side out.
Don't
Touch her.
Prototype tries to explain how he is right in doing what he is doing and implies that they cannot live amongst people. So the best course of action is
Oh god, Kissy the goat. Kissy the goat. That's why she back there right now. I gotta pull her out, you know what I'm saying? But shout out Kissy the goat, bro.
living here and being cruel to humans, but Puppy, seeing how they transformed into monsters, saw the only way out through blowing up the factory being their only redemption. We also discover a horrible truth that the children are seemingly killed by the prototype. Kizzy, being brave, then attacks and incapacitates the prototype, saving an injured puppy whose delicate porcelain body cracks under prototype's hand pressure. As the prototype retreats and runs away like a coward, Lily comes chasing after the protagonist, but it seems like she didn't hear that he is labeled as the Butcher, as he manages to kill her by dropping a suspended cloud on her fallen body. In the meantime, Gibblet joins with Puppy and Kissy, all being badly mutilated, with Gibblet being positive and saying something so admirable that they shouldn't allow the prototype define them through what they've been
Damn.
through, and they shouldn't be monsters. They then decide to get to the tram and get out of here. As they do so, Huggy Wuggy attacks the protagonist as he is trying to come back to them, but Kissy has a closure with him, which calms him down. But all of a sudden, the prototype comes and stabs both Huggy and Kissy, seemingly killing them. The prototype is truly horrifying in here, having a clown toy top, while having large mechanical, sharp spider legs and needle-like hands. He also has collected arms from Mommy Longlegs, Huggy, and Kissy. As they get on the train, the prototype also gets on, and through an intense battle, the protagonist manages to temporarily defeat him, but it proves to be pointless as the protagonist gets stabbed and thrown into a vat of biomatters. After getting up and regaining his consciousness, he sees that Puppy was kidnapped by the prototype, only Gibblet being there, and they go to a secret server-like room where they activate a backup from Harley Sawyer, seemingly to help them find a way to kill
the computer nigga's back? That's his name? The doctor, right? What the fuck wait, what the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck?
Activate a backup from Harley Sawyer, seemingly to help them find a way to kill the prototype, as no matter what the protagonist did, the prototype didn't die. And Sawyer, if you remember from previous chapter, was one of the main guys who the protagonist managed to defeat. Someone who was mainly involved in the experiments and turning children into toy monsters. Also, there is a big mystery to how the protagonist survived the stab, but maybe it has something to do with the vat of the biomatter. Anyway, this brings us to the end of this chapter. There is a lot to cover, so make sure to stay tuned for more Puppy Playtime Chapter 5 videos. As always, it's been your host Star. Thanks for being here. And
okay, we're gonna watch the endings and then the secrets plus video, but give me 1 second. Let me feed Sterling. All right. Caught up in such a vibe, I had to put the Twitch on in the background. Real nigga. When are we getting to Alex next bail? I'm hyped for it. Today. Puppy Playtime Chapter 5 explained, full ending explained plus the secrets. All right, we just watched the full story explained, kinda. And now we're finna get into the secrets. Let's get it.
like being a menacing amalgamation of different toy monsters, the protagonist of the story challenges.
Wait, is this the same nigga? Game. Oh, it is him. Okay, it's the same dude.
Him in a battle, but ultimately loses as the prototype proves to be too powerful. He even injures Puppy and kidnaps her to perform some cruel experiment.
Damn, I just watched her eye pop out. I didn't peep her eye popped out, but now that you look back, her eye definitely pops out.
To be too powerful. He even injures Puppy.
Watch.
And kidnaps her to perform some
seen
cruel
it?
experiments
Like,
on her.
shoo!
And quoting what he says, he will fix her. And
Make sure you have the up-to-date video. He had to re-upload it due to copyright. Oh, I know.
as he fixed many other toys who rebelled against him. Unfortunately, Kissy Missy seems to die here, and Huggy Wuggy, who is calmed and comforted by Kissy, seemingly wanting to join our cause, also gets stabbed and seemingly dies. Despite all the losses and failures, we manage to befriend a smart toy known as Gibblet, who has been opposing the prototype in secret and has the ultimate secret weapon to take him down. A person known as Harley Sawyer, the infamous lead doctor in performance.
We beat him, and now we have to use him. He was chapter 4 or chapter 3. 4. He was, yeah, okay.
Performing brutal experiments on children, turning them into dolls. You might say we killed Harley Sawyer in the last chapter and he shouldn't be alive anymore. And even if so, he is still evil, and why should we revive him? Well, as it turns out, Gibblet knew about a backup of Sawyer's consciousness locked away in a server room, and through finding the data to activate it, they can manage to make a temporary alliance in order to kill the prototype, as after all, Sawyer had an obsession with the prototype and felt he is.
Okay, here's the thing though. Like, even... So if we defeat the prototype with Sawyer, does Sawyer still not become a problem after this? And isn't Sawyer a problem we're gonna have to deal with again? Pour water on him. Got it. Smart. I don't know why I didn't think of that, Cinnamon.
Special, trying to uncover his secrets, even going so far as torturing him in extreme ways. Put a pin on this as we will get back to it later on the video. Something else that piqued my interest was that the protagonist was stabbed by the prototype and he should have surely died, but for some reason he lives. That is only after he gets thrown into a biomatter vat and gets revived when Gibblet shocks him.
This version has no Omni hand. Oh, you're right. Okay, that's very right. That's very right.
Should you come back years later, your conscience finally getting the better of you, may you descend into the dark and the dust. Welcome home.
I thought you were gone.
So let's get back to the first point. Gibblet. Gibblet is our ally, and as soon as he understands the protagonist is the well-known butcher or Puppy's Angel, the one who has been fighting the prototype and his allies, he starts siding with us and helping us kill the prototype. He doesn't like the prototype and opposes him. Clear? They even kidnap the orphan children who were the victim.
Am I about to watch the same video over again? Chapter 5's ending explained. Let's do this one.
Poppy Playtime Chapter 5 just released, with by far the most thrilling ending yet, featuring a lot of twists, reveals, secrets, and more. All of which I'm going to break down right now, along with what it all means for the future of the franchise. So to give a quick breakdown of the entire game, Chapter 5 starts right where Chapter 4 ended, with Huggy attacking us at full speed.
I don't want to see the... Let's do the lore video. Okay, so...
When I first played, only to be revived by Gibblet, who sadly revealed the prototype had actually taken Poppy, leaving just the two of us. Regardless, we finally made it to the backup and powered it on, only to learn that this backup in question wasn't just of some files or something like that, but rather was a computer backup system for none other than our second worst enemy.
There were some people saying it even though it was confirmed the player is human.
And
This person?
Sawyer, who returns, gives us a little speech.
Well now, this is a rather interesting turn of events.
And the chapter ends. So there was a lot of moving pieces here, but let's divide the ending into two main sections. There's the reuniting with Huggy and Kissy part, and the main ending with the doctor and all that. So starting with the Huggy meetup, the first question, especially newer players are going to be asking, is why did Huggy not attack us anymore after meeting Kissy and seemingly got calm? And the reason is, throughout Poppy Playtime's lore, it's been lightly established that Playtime Co. was attempting to create similar looking versions of specific toys to try and calm them down. This is actually the reason we never see a Daddy Longlegs in Chapter 2, because Playtime Co. tried to make him to calm down Mommy Longlegs.
Huh? I'm about to put this in the oven. Okay. Are you gonna be able to watch it?
It just says put it in the oven for 18 minutes.
Okay.
However, it didn't work and she killed him. Unlike Mommy though, we learned in one of the game's hidden VHS tapes that Huggy, while very aggressive, was calmed by the presence of a friend, Kissy Missy, which finally fully explains the long-lasting question of why they created her in the first place, leading to the sweetest moment in the entire franchise, if you ignore the prototype coming in and stabbing both of them mere moments later. But I guess speaking...
I didn't know that. I didn't know she was made to calm him down. Look at me. Look at me. This isn't you. Look at me. This isn't you. Look at me. It's just us. It's us. This isn't you. This is not who you are. Oh my God. You're not like this. You're not like this. Just look at me. This isn't you. We can change. I can change you. Stab. Just look at me. Look at me. This isn't you.
Speaking of which, the second question regarding this ending is, are Kissy and Huggy really dead? I mean, it seemed definitive at first, but we do know they have insane levels of survivability.
True.
And have thus far been burned alive, fell down 20 million stories, and everything in between. So is it possible they survived this fate? Maybe. And I only say maybe because after getting revived, while Gibblet is recapping what happened, he notably omits saying that Kissy was killed.
Poppy, I couldn't. He took her. Kissy is... I don't know. I don't...
Now, it's possible that he did this out of grief and just didn't want to say it. That's probably the likely option, actually. But I don't know. I just can't help but feel like if this was really it for both of Poppy's, like, biggest characters, they would have done something a little bit more definitive. Or maybe I'm just coping with the loss still. But regardless, now let's discuss the second half of the ending. I'm sure it was a big shock of yours to see Harley Sawyer of...
I hope Huggy Wuggy. I hope that too. I'm not even gonna lie. If they survived, I think they'd both be on our side now. I really don't think Huggy's dead though. I think Huggy's gonna like, nigga, Jesus, I smell you sniffing from over here. But I think Huggy's not dead, and I think the stab to the back killed Kissy for sure. But Huggy's not dead, and I feel like Huggy's going to join our team and want to kill the prototype because he killed Kissy. Look at me. Look at me. This isn't you. Look at me. It's just me and you. Just me.
All people return. And the big question you're probably asking is why? Why in the world would Gibblet revive Harley Sawyer? Harley Sawyer, like I said, is our second worst enemy, only below the prototype, and we just released him out in the wild, making our lives much harder. Was this meant to be some kind of ultimate betrayal? I mean, after all, Gibblet did work under the prototype, so maybe all this time, this was simply his elaborate plan? Well, fortunately, I don't think so. Looking at Gibblet's reaction, he clearly is surprised to see the doctor return, so I don't think he meant to have him come back. And furthermore, I actually don't think it's a bad thing either. Because up until this point, we've clearly proven that we cannot take the prototype alone. When we finally confronted him in this chapter, he decimated everything in his path. However, Harley, who we just reactivated, wasn't just the smartest person when it came to the experiments like the prototype, but he also was inside of the Playtime computer system, meaning if he were to cooperate, we could probably use him to get around the factory and get some intel about the prototype and his weaknesses. After all, if powering on this computer system was meant to be the quote-unquote backup to stopping the prototype, and it ended up being Harley Sawyer, that must mean that he is the one who can do it. And while it might not seem like he'd be willing to help us, I think he will. Because, I mean, we're the ones who revived him, so we kind of hold the control to his entire life. And if he ever went rogue again, I don't see why we couldn't just turn the computer off. Plus, we saw throughout past games that Harley is very much prone to being blackmailed with his life, since he was originally turned into this computer system to be used for his knowledge about the experiments. And if he didn't obey, like I said, they could just shut him down. So I think we'll be able to bribe the doctor into being on our side. Either that, or it could end up maybe being the opposite way around, like maybe he'll want us to do something for him before he'll help us out. And this isn't even all for the ending, because it also features one final secret note that can be found in the computer room right here that might have one of the biggest reveals yet in a journal entry from Leaf reading, "Where to even begin with this nightmare of a week? They were hiding down in play care, probably for several weeks, and somehow nobody noticed it. If it weren't for the accident with that Theodore child, I'm not sure we'd discovered them at all, or Elliot's body."
Theodore. Catnap. Okay.
At any rate, Theodore's imaginary friend won't talk to anyone. But the girl, the one Elliot notes call 1007, is a bit more cooperative. I feel like a moron just writing this part. She introduced herself as Poppy. Not just the doll, but the girl the dolls were made after. Poppy Ludwig.
So she is his daughter. Okay. So she is his daughter.
She remembered me, how we met. She had the same voice and everything. It was made only more unnerving by the fact that she seemed downright traumatized by the whole ordeal. It's impossible, isn't it? That girl's been gone a long time. There's more though. Things my investigator dug up from an office Elliot had tucked away. Most of it is trash, but there are pieces. I still don't know what to make out of it. All I know for sure is something big has been going on under our noses, and whatever it is, I think it might have gotten the old man killed. Which is essentially Leith discovering that the prototype was hiding in play care around the child Theodore, who would eventually become Catnap, and referred to the prototype as his imaginary friend.
Oh, that's why Theodore loves that's why Catnap, like, worships the prototype. Okay.
But he also reveals here that, for one, Elliot is in fact dead and has a dead body, so he's likely not an experiment. Two, that Poppy is experiment 1007, which is the experiment directly after 1006. Three, that her name when she was Elliot's daughter, as we suspected, was in fact Poppy Ludwig, who would go on to inspire the Poppy dolls. And four, that Leith and the rest of the factory didn't know about the experiments at first, and would later on have to study Ludwig's creations in order to make their own, confirming that Ludwig was in fact not a part of the Bigger Bodies initiative and was experimenting entirely on his own, which is pretty insane. But now, most importantly, where does this all leave us? Well, clearly the story of the chapters isn't over. The game, as a matter of fact, left on maybe the largest cliffhanger of the entire franchise, so I could basically guarantee you that there's going to be a chapter 6, and like a lot.
Bro, if you're gonna do a chapter 6, please don't make it 5 hours. 2 hours, 2.5, shit, maybe even 3. Buff it up to 3 is enough. At max 3. We don't need these long ass drug out games. I hope they're seeing the reviews and you know.
A lot of people thought we aren't done with our
this needs to be wrapped up before GTA 6. I'm not even gonna lie. If you're gonna come out with another game, have it be before GTA 6 comes out. Not gonna cap. Because if it comes out anytime during the year and a half that GTA 6 is out, that first year and a half, nobody's really gonna be playing anything else but GTA 6, nigga. Nobody's going to be playing anything else. Niggas is going to try to make careers. Niggas is going to be locked in. Niggas, bro, RP, all of that. Do not drop this, bro. If you're going to do it now. And do it before GTA 6 drops. I'm telling you. Because I promise you, I probably won't even touch that shit.
Journey. But as for what our goal going into this chapter is going to be, I assume that with the help of Harley, we're going to have to hunt down the prototype ourselves and try to find this mysterious case that he said he wanted to bring Poppy into, which he seemingly successfully did. I also think we'll hopefully find out what happened to the remaining orphans that survived after the Hour of Joy, because while we learned in chapter 4 that the prototype had brought them down to the labs for safekeeping, in the labs they are notably gone, and Poppy even asked the prototype where they were when he gave this chilling response.
What did you do with them? Where are the orphans? Uh-oh, she doesn't know.
I did.
But I had to.
Very.
A better place now.
So I assume they were turned into experiments, probably the animals that we saw in the game. And I also think there is a chance that we will try to escape the factory after this, because when going to Gibblet's home base, he told us that it wasn't much, but that he also wasn't planning to stay down there forever.
And I got plans anyway. I'm not gonna be down here forever.
So hopefully we get to learn exactly where he wanted to go and why. Overall, this is such a cool chapter, and I've only broken down the ending. I've seen and heard about a ton of different things in this game that I'm certain to be covering here soon, so make sure to subscribe so you don't.
Hey, W video. Overall, W video. I feel like the lore and the storytelling in this chapter is probably great, but 5.5 hours. 5.5 hours and I just watched this whole shit get summed up in like 30 minutes. I think I'm good off playing it. Hopefully, if they do make a chapter 6, it's not long and drug out, then maybe. You know what I'm saying? Because I like shit, games like this, I feel like I should be able to play and beat in one stream. 2.5 hours hours maximum. You know what I mean? W video, shout out to the gaming channel. You won't get many like these, but sometimes I might do something like this. Like maybe one day I'll do a recap of Resident Evil 8 because I never finished it, so I don't know how it ends. I never watched nobody shit to the end because I was supposed to play it and things like that. Let me know if you want things like that, like videos like that on this channel. You know what I'm saying? W videos.